And we're back. So I'm on Twitter right now. I don't know if you follow NFL rumors. Pretty reliable. I mean, most stuff I see from that Twitter page. Um, I, it's not like a real fake news thing, but I'm seeing there's talks the Bills and Browns game might not even happen. Buffalo players would have to get to the airport and fly out. They've already canceled practice due to travel conditions. It is a weird thing that was brought up on a short notice, and I think even you sent something. What's going on in Detroit this weekend? There was supposed to be happening.
No, not supposed to be. That is happening right now as we're recording. It's going to be taken down on Saturday, but there's a carnival inside of Ford Field. Ferris wheel, dunk tanks, probably little setup roller coasters. I don't know what else, but there's a picture of them setting it up on Thursday. So the carnival's supposed to be all day Friday.
Well, they could play around that, I think. Yeah, that's it's very interesting. I mean, what would they even do if this game doesn't happen? I mean, they got to make it up. Both teams have had their bye, right? I'm trying to think. The Browns had their bye and the Bills did,
Extra Thanksgiving game? I don't know.
but that wouldn't help because they still got to play on
No,
Sunday
it
that
wouldn't.
week.
It's still a Thursday game.
I'm also seeing the pictures of what the Orchard Park looks like right now. It's under snow, so they clearly didn't plan for that to at least get it off. So I don't know where they go from here with this. It's gonna be I guess just a wait and see. In other
Take a
news
boat.
that's not related to this, did you see the Minnesota Twins unveiled their new uniforms?
No, I didn't.
Um, not a fan of the hat. I mean, they kept the original hat in some, but they have an alternate hat that's just an M with a star. Not my favorite. Sure I'll get used to them, but I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
it just looks modernized. Oh yeah, I don't like that M. That just looks like the Marlins hat.
Yeah. So, there's some baseball talk. Um, Anyways, we want to get into our Sunday preview for the week 11 of the NFL season.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, and Adley Rushman finished 12th in MVP voting.
Oh,
Shout
that's
out him.
big.
He's a big
Very
listener.
big.
Huge listener. So let's get in. And where do we always start? And now they're not playing in prime time. They're not on bye. It's the Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, 1 o'clock start. The Panthers are 3-7. Ravens 6-3. Like I said, coming off bye. Panthers haven't played since last Thursday night, but they will be without quarterback PJ Walker. So that means, oh boy, it's Baker Mayfield returning to Baltimore. The spread right now, do you know what it is?
It 13, I think.
It is. It's 13-point favorite. The Ravens are over under a 41. Um, Gus Edwards, Mark Andrews questionable. Oh man, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to start Foreman just because of his usage, but I don't think it's gonna be a very good day. I would try to avoid DJ Moore. I mean, if you had an alternative, I would get out of Deonta Foreman. I almost think, who do you think would have a better day, Foreman or Moore? Because you think they're gonna be throwing a lot.
I'd say Foreman.
Okay.
I don't trust Baker's arm. Even though he's the future face of the XFL, I still don't trust Baker Mayfield's arm.
Yeah, Baker, you cannot. He's not giving anything for Baltimore. Lamar, if Andrews plays, you're playing him. Should you give Likely a start,
Yeah, I would.
even if Andrews plays?
I mean, depending on I know there's a lot of wide receivers on buys this week. So if you
Mm-hmm.
need a flex play, I, especially with Bateman out, I feel like
Bateman done for the
likely
year.
is he's definitely a possible start for the rest of the season, especially with Mark Andrews being in and out.
Is Duvernay still on your flex radar? Didn't have a very good game last time. We saw them against the Saints, but
I mean, he looks like more of a decoy receiver whenever he's
yeah.
actually running routes. He's good catching screen passes, maybe a couple just like out routes, like five and out, but yeah, not really Devin Duvernay. You
No.
need one of those explosive 60, 70-yard touchdowns out of him.
Yeah, so start Justin Tucker. I'm gonna be on the Ravens.
Oh, Ravens. Yeah.
Okay.
Easy. Probably gonna take the under.
Okay. Falcons, Bears. Falcons 4-6. Chicago 3-7. Chicago's been scoring a lot of points. Justin Fields is your sit of the week, and the Falcons are 3-point favorites at home. Over under 49. Expecting a nice high scoring game. we saw Khalil Herbert is going to be out for a little bit, and because Fields has been doing all this production, it hasn't been great for David Montgomery. You still putting him in there because I think you have to in this matchup, and maybe they want to get Fields a little less rushing attempts. You getting David Montgomery involved this week?
Yeah, this week definitely getting Montgomery in. I mean, yeah, Fields, he was complaining. I think he said during one of his press conferences that his legs were worn out. I mean, that was after 2 games. Yeah, he ran a lot, but that's after 2 games. He's what, 23, 24 years old? Shouldn't be shouldn't be
Yo,
complaining
man,
that
you're really
much.
shitting on him. Is there a pass catcher you really want to start for the Bears? I think Cole Kmet is a good flyer. He's scoring a lot of touchdowns.
I'd start him over Chase Claypool as
Yeah, I
wide
don't think you start
receiver.
Claypool. What about Mooney? Just throwing him out there.
No, I'd start Komet,
Mooney or Amari Cooper.
Mari Cooper.
Okay. And then on the other side, would you rather start Mooney or Drake London? London found the end zone last week. He should be involved every week. But does he start to get on a bit of a role here, or is it same old Drake London from the middle of the season?
No, like I will always think that Drake London is going to score 10 to 15 points and Kyle Pitts is going to score 10 points every single week. They're such good players. They're such good athletes. I
I can't
hate
be with you on the Kyle
Arthur
Pitts one.
Smith. Do you
I
know
don't like
Arthur
him.
Smith's dad founded was the co-founder of FedEx? He shouldn't even be coaching. He should just be a millionaire off somewhere. Don't be coaching football if you don't use your back-to-back first round picks that were both taken in the top 10. But
Yeah,
yeah, I would still start Drake London.
I've been starting him for a while, and it's tough. I really don't know where to go with him. He's very tough call. I've got some good wide receiver options, so I'll probably stick on the bench for me. Just as far as the running backs go, only starting Patterson. You can't start Huntley. Where do you fall with Algier?
I won't even feel super comfortable starting Cordero. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was weird last week. He got less involved than he did his first week back.
I think it Huntley's gonna get a couple touches. They want Algier to be their they drafted him to be a not a workhorse back, but to take a large chunk of the touches. So he's just gonna get more throughout the season. So no, I wouldn't really trust Cordero unless he gets back involved in the passing game.
I'll be on the Bears.
I'll still be on the Falcons.
Buffalo, Cleveland. Cleveland 3-6, Buffalo 6-3. Buffalo coming off that tough loss where they really I mean it was bad. They blew it. And all they need to do is get about a half a yard down the game. They couldn't. Now this game's being played in Detroit. Bills are an 8-point favorite, over under back up to 49.5. And I hope Jake Wills can get that bet canceled where I took the under. Um when I thought this
I
game
was
was gonna.
right there with him.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get our money back for that. Anyways, right now the Bills, a lot of money on them, and obviously you're playing everybody now that they're back in the dome. I mean, I think that's probably the best case scenario. I think the Browns, honestly, the best chance they had to win this game, I'd say. I mean, Buffalo's been playing great, but I think they're better than the Browns. In the dome, you're starting everybody. Singletary, you're starting. Not enough of Naeem Hines, so don't even look at that. On the Browns side, I think it's a little more tricky. Chubb, yes, but besides that, Amari Cooper is on the edge because of how he's been on the road, and Kareem Hunt you can't play. So, would you rather play Amari Cooper or Donovan Peoples-Jones if you had both?
I I would probably lean Donovan Peoples Jones. And I have Amari Cooper and I'm starting him this week. But if I had both, I would start Peoples Jones. Just 'cause I feel like there's going to be more focus on the defense on Amari. So I feel like Donovan Peoples Jones is going to have more open targets.
I think I'll stay with Cooper there. You have some faith in Gabe Davis this week?
I mean, he's hit or miss. It's kind of a coin toss with him. He either gets 4 targets, 2 catches for 20 yards, or he's going to have 8 targets, six catches, and like 150 yards.
Who would you rather have, Mike Williams or Gabe Davis?
Mike Williams, I guess.
Okay.
But Gabe Davis has a chance to score points because he actually plays.
Well, I'm saying if they're both healthy, but
Oh, the
I'll
Mike
be on
Williams.
Buffalo here.
Yeah, I'll stick with Buffalo.
Washington coming off the Monday Night Football win. They're 5-5. Houston is 1-7-1. Man, Houston has been bad. Uh, Commanders on the road are a 3-point favorite, 4.5 point over under. Still no JD McKissick. So, I mean, I think both running backs find plays here. I mean, Washington showed how much they want to run the football, and this is a team they should be able to run better than the Eagles. Um, Washington does get interesting here. They said Heineke's playing, even though Wentz I think is eligible to come off the IR. So I think you can play Robinson and Gibson. When it comes to wide receivers, though, obviously I think McLaurin you still got to play because Heineke's still playing, but guess who's coming back is, or I believe he came back last week, but we expect him to see more stats with Jahan Dotson, who had a fast start to his career. Plus, there's Curtis Samuel. Where do you kind of rank those guys?
I really want to start any Washington pass catchers. I mean, Taylor Heineke, I feel like he's more of a gutsy quarterback. I mean, he does more stuff against the play call, mainly because he doesn't get the ball out fast. He's going to be running around some. He's going to be taking sacks. So I trust the run game in Washington way more than the passing game, especially with those three names all being back healthy.
You wouldn't even start McLaurin, huh?
I mean,
McLaurin's
this
been
week I
good.
would because there's a lot of wide receivers on buys, but I don't know. I really just don't trust Terry McLaurin with because they paid Curtis Samuel and they drafted Jahan Dotson early. So if they're going to spread the ball around.
On the Houston side, I think it's pretty easy. It's Damian Pierce.
Yeah, that's kind of it. And he's even going to get touches taken away with Benjamin in
I don't think he's going to get a lot taken away. I think, if anything, that's Rex Burkhead.
a couple.
He gets enough. I will say, Brandon Cooks could, just because of his weird situation, he could theoretically go off. But, I wouldn't mind in a thin week a flex play to Nico Collins, who's looked really good. I'll be on the Commanders here.
So spread 3 points.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be on the Commanders too.
The Eagles, 8-1, no longer unbeaten, go to Indianapolis to face Jeff Saturday. And the 4-5-1 Indianapolis Colts. Eagles are 7-point favorites on the road, 45.5 point over under. Um, it looks like there's a couple guys questionable, but I think everyone important here will be playing. So obviously Hurts, Miles Sanders, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith suiting up. Obviously there's no Dallas Goedert. I don't think you're really looking for the backup there. And on Indianapolis' side, Matt Ryan is back as a starter. So Jonathan Taylor you're playing and Michael Pittman you're playing. Where do you fall with Paris Campbell, who's been very good in the last 3 weeks that Matt Ryan has been the quarterback?
Still take Pittman over him. I'd start Cooper over him this week. Start Donovan Peoples-Jones over him this week. I'd start Paris Campbell over DJ Moore. So yeah, around there, that's where I'm falling with him.
I think I'll go. I mean, you got to start Pittman, and he's been used really close to the line of scrimmage, which is odd. But
Alec Pierce is irrelevant.
yeah, he really hasn't recovered since the quarterback change. I think I'll. I think I'd like to have Paris Campbell over Donovan Peoples Jones. I think I'd rather have that
For this week or the future?
for this week.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But you
Um,
take Amari over Peoples-Jones, right?
yeah.
Okay.
But besides that, I think I'm going to be on Philadelphia here.
Yeah, 7 point. Yeah, this coming off a loss. Yeah, they're gonna run it up on the Colts. They're definitely gonna try to. I hate going against my man Jeff, but yeah, give me Eagles.
Mm.
I like the over
Jets,
too.
Jets, and Patriots. Jets are 6-3. Patriots 5-4. Jets. Both these teams actually coming off the bye, so both fresh. Over under 38. That's gross. And the Patriots are 3.5 point favorite. Jets have been playing good football this year, but as far as fantasy people, I mean, Garrett Wilson, Michael Carter, not really James Robinson. They're all kind of in that flex kind of range. For the Patriots, though, Jacoby Myers, if he's healthy, you put him out there. Ramondre Stevenson's been great. I think Damian Harris is a low end flex, but Ramondre Stevenson's been really good. I think he is the star in the offense. I really don't know who to be on here. It seems like it will be a low scoring game. Give me the Patriots against a younger quarterback who hasn't looked great this year.
I'll take the Jets. I'm kind of expecting a dud out of Michael Carter this week because James Robinson's first week with the team, he out carried Carter and out targeted him in the passing game. And now coming off a bye week, James Robinson has a full week learning the playbook more, getting more acclimated to that offense. I feel like he's going to take over more of the passing game, not expecting 10, I mean, yeah, less than 10 fantasy points out of Michael Carter. I don't think that's that hot of a take, but I'll still stick with the Jets.
Rams at the New Orleans Saints. This could be a rough one, so buckle up. Looks like Matt Stafford should be back, but it will be Andy Dalton. Rams are 3-6. Saints are 3-7. No Cooper Kupp. No Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara will be out there, but who knows how much he'll do. Saints are 3-point favorites, which is crazy. Over under 39 points. Because it's not super crazy, but it is tough to look at. It's really wait and see what the Rams offense is going to look like with no Cooper Kupp. I mean, I don't think you're starting anyone. I guess besides Higbee. On the Saints side, Kamara, Olave. I guess you can throw Juwan James out there if you need to. But, I mean, it doesn't look like a great fantasy game. Would you start anyone besides the guys I just named?
I would start Allen Robinson over Jawan James.
Okay, well, that's a wide receiver and a tight end. But, okay.
Oh, I was thinking of Juwan Johnson for the 49ers.
Okay, well, that's not him.
Jennings.
Where are you going with this at this point?
No, I was just very wrong about the names.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the tight
Okay,
end
yeah,
for the
but
Saints.
I'd start Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson over Amari Cooper. Ooh,
No, I was still
yeah.
sticking with Amari Cooper. Yeah, we can just edit all that out, so that's
No,
not a
no,
big
I'll
deal.
leave it in.
Yeah, and
But
wait, when this when is McVay gonna retire? Do you think he's serious
oh, I
about
did
that?
see that. I think he's not after this year. This has been kind of a lost year for them.
Coming off a Super Bowl, thought he was just gonna run it back, just reload, keep. I mean, he doesn't have any future draft picks. He's starting off with this start. Having like broadcasting one game a week for like 8-10 million dollars for like Amazon or
It's a good
something
deal,
doesn't
isn't
seem
it?
like that big of a deal.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna take the Saints here. I really don't like what's going on in LA.
I think the Rams have to turn it around, so I'll take the Rams with points.
7-2 Giants host the 3-6 Lions. Giants. Well, they've been hot. They are 3-point favorites over under 45 points. Saquon obviously has been the guy. I said Wan'Dale Robinson, you could drop him early in the week. He's been pretty disappointing. Daniel Bellinger's still out, who I thought was the best looking piece. I mean, I don't know. It's very confusing in New York. I don't think they really play great football, but they win games. They're disciplined. They're well coached. On Detroit side, I have to give Goff a start this week because I'm got Gino on bye and there's no other quarterbacks really available. Jamal Williams, you're starting. Amon Ra, of course. Um, who is their backup tight end who's been playing a decent amount and getting some looks? I guess you can start to look at him a little bit. I wouldn't start him, but I don't have his name in front of me right now. And what do you do with DeAndre Swift this week? Because we know he's not going to score a ton. He's not going to touch the ball a ton, but he'll score a lot for the amount of touches he gets.
I mean, I think he's still a start this week, especially with the Giants. Like, yeah, they have a good record, haven't been playing great. They've been in a lot of really close games, a lot of one-score games that could have gone either way if the other team played differently. But yeah, I'd still consider DeAndre Swift a start.
Who you starting if you have both Jamal Williams or Swift? I think
Swift.
it's really I would
I
still
still
stick with
start Swift.
Jamal just because of the touches.
I I think Swift is they have to get him back into the game plan eventually this year.
It's a weird year. I'm actually going to take the Lions here. They've been
No, I'll
playing
stick with
better. They're going for their third straight win. If they win, they'll move into second place in the division. which would be
Their
crazy.
defense is awful. Like
Yeah, but I don't think the Giants do necessarily anything that's great besides pound the rock with Saquon, which has led them to a lot of wins. I don't know. I just feel like this is the upset of the week. I'm gonna take the Lions.
I'll take the under first of all, and also the Giants.
The Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, it's been a rough one. They're 2-7. They have not won a road game yet this year. They're 0-5. They're going to be playing a team that's been just as bad. To be quite honest, the Denver Broncos, 3-6 or 2-2 at home. This is one of those late afternoon games you just want to watch for the pure chaos and just to see the fans of both teams hate their teams. Um, oh boy, Devontae Adams. I know we had a bit of an injury. He should play. He's obviously a start. Josh Jacobs, of course. Derek Carr, I don't think you can really play him. There's still no Waller. Um, will you play Mac Hollins or Morel? Because to be honest with
I
you, I think a lot of people thought real quick before that when those two guys went on IR for a while, which was Renfro and Waller, I think people assumed. I know Morel caught a touchdown. Really, a lot more passes went to Jacobs. Jacobs caught more passes than I thought he had in his career, and he can do it, but they really hadn't used him like that before. So I don't really know if there's a huge upside with those other two guys. What are your thoughts on that?
like for Moreau, I'd say he's definitely a start, especially with how weird tight ends have been this year. Like Taysom was a top five, top eight tight end for 5 or 6 weeks into the season. And so as weird as tight ends have been, that makes sense starting. But Mac Hollins, no, I wouldn't start him. I would barely even roster him.
Broncos, I don't know if I said this. Broncos are 2.5 point favorites, over under 41.5. So there's where it gets tough. The Broncos suck. They're tough to watch. Jerry Judy
Terrible.
is not going to play this week, I don't think. And so here's the tough part. They've been bad, but this is a really bad defense. I don't think you can start Russ, but would you start anyone on Denver? Dulcich? Maybe?
Dulce, no, I'd definitely start Dulcich. I'm starting him this week over Kyle Pitts. I mean, Stinky Pitts, not much to talk about, but Dulcich, I think I saw today where Raiders, I think they've given up the sixth or seventh most points to tight ends this season.
They're not a good defense.
No, they're not, but Broncos also bad. This game is kind of screaming under.
What about Cortland Sutton?
Yeah, I'd start Cortland Sutton just because there's nowhere else for targets to go. Even Hinton, he's been getting receptions, hasn't he?
Yeah, he used to be a quarterback.
Yeah, and he's been getting receptions this season, and I don't even know if he's playing this game. So who else are they going to pass it to?
I don't know. Would you play, as far as Dulcich goes, Greg Dulcich or Hayden Hurst? I haven't even gotten to that game yet, but that's kind
Dul-
of two guys I have that are in
Dulcich.
that. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna go Hurst. Um, let's
Oh, because
go
you're a big
to
South Carolina fan.
no. Um, let's go to Minnesota, 8-1. The Vikings. Is this a bit of a letdown game after the big win? They're playing the 6-3 Dallas Cowboys, who had a tough loss last week. Right now, the Cowboys are actually favored in Minnesota by a point and a half, 48.5 point over under. Obviously, you're playing all the obvious people. Don't really need to say them. Um, I think you're playing, if Zeke's playing, you're playing him. And if Pollard, you still play him, I think. If Zeke's playing, I think you could give him a flex. He's kind of always been like that. He's going to get some touches. On the Minnesota side, I mean, it's just your obvious people. The one guy in question is Thielen. So where do you put him? I kind of put him down in that range. I think I'd put him under Amari Cooper. I think
Yep.
he's kind of around Donovan Peoples-Jones, to be honest. That's right there.
I'd put Thielen above DJ Moore.
I don't know. I don't know about that one, but okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I'm
Forget
gonna
who else we were ranking
be
earlier.
I'll be on the Vikings here. I'll stick with the Vikings. Riding hot.
I mean, this is a tough spot to be in. A letdown game for the Vikings coming up. I don't even know if you'd call it an upset, but just such a weird game. And then Cowboys coming off of a loss to a bad Green Bay. So it's a tough spot for the Vikings. I don't like that Dallas is favored, but I'll take Dallas.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off the bye. Pittsburgh coming off a win against the Saints. Pittsburgh's 3-6. Cincinnati 5-4. And Cincinnati is favored in Pittsburgh by 4 points, 40.5. I think it could be a little closer than people think just because it's a division game. These two teams play close games, but obviously in Pittsburgh, it's tough. Let me just go through Cincinnati real quick. Obviously, you're playing Mixon, Burrow, I think Hayden Hurst, and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase will not be out there for Pittsburgh. It's tough. And everybody, and I'm still glad I got rid of him. I keep hearing everybody online that, oh, Devontae Johnson gets these targets. Well, Deontay Johnson does not score fantasy points. So I'm not playing him. You can add into my sits of the week. I don't want to play Deontay Johnson until he does a damn thing. Najee Harris, I'll let you take him. And I think Pat Freiermuth, you're playing him. That he's been kind of the best option in that Pittsburgh offense.
I mean, Deontay Johnson, I tried to trade for him at the beginning of the season. I tried to give you Taysom Hill, and you said no.
Well, I ended up getting Taysom Hill anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I
but
actually got him
Najee,
for in a Deontay Johnson deal.
all right, that's irrelevant to this juncture. But
Sorry.
Najee already been over him a lot. Bad athlete, but if you have him on your team, that means you drafted a bad athlete in the first round, so you're probably going to have to start him since you have so much stock in him. Unless you got lucky and picked up a decent running back off waivers throughout the season. But so yeah, I guess you'd start him, not expecting too much. Keep your hopes down. And Jalen Warren, he's don't be surprised if he outscores Najee again.
I'm gonna get crazy here. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. TJ Watt's back.
Yeah.
I think this is a really low
Mm.
scoring game. We've seen sometimes the Bengals when their offensive line is not good, and you get some good pressure on him, they can't do anything. They look bad. Remember that Browns game? Remember early in the season? Who they lose to? Houston, maybe?
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick Pittsburgh here.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go with Cincinnati, but I think Pittsburgh is not the obvious play, but they're getting 4 points at home. Not Heinz Field, but Acrisure.
Yep, there you go.
They're at the Sure, but uh I think Mike Tomlin is like 14-2-1, 15-2-1 when he's an underdog at home with Pittsburgh. You can't go against that stat. So yeah, Pittsburgh with the points.
And finally, Sunday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs are at the LA Chargers. Kansas City 7-2, Chargers 5-4. We got a 5 point favorite for the Chiefs, over under 52. So expecting a high scoring game. Here's what gets interesting. Juju's out. McCole Hardman is out. So it's going to be MVS and Kadarius Toney is the main two wide receivers out there. For the Chargers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are questionable. They've been practicing this week. Really going to be interesting. It's tough because it's the Monday night game, or excuse me, the Sunday night game. So you have to have some options to pivot to. I honestly don't know if either of them play. I think Keenan Allen. I can't talk to Keenan Allen. I can't talk for what I think he's going to do. I think Mike Williams probably won't play this week though.
I mean, if you have either one of those receivers, then you already have a plan in place, like if they're injured. So I'd say just stick with that plan. Don't get your hopes up about one of them two playing. If something comes out early Sunday or maybe on Saturday that either one of them are playing and they're going to be in full capacity, then you could start them. But I'm assuming that at this point in the season, there's going to be enough decent receivers on waivers where you can get a fluke 9, 10, 11 points out of one of them.
Mahomes and Herbert. Herbert's not been very good, but I think you got to start him. Mahomes, obviously. Running backs, I really don't have any interest in Isaiah Pacheco, and he needs to score to do something. So get Clyde Edwards-Helaire out and away from your lineups. Travis Kelce, obviously. Eckler, duh. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. Easy for me. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the Chiefs are a better team, even laying the 5 points. And yeah, I think Pacheco can get to the end zone this week.
Yeah, I'm taking Chiefs and under. I want the Chargers to be good. They have good weapons. I want Herbert to get a lot of points. I just don't think they're that good of a team. I don't even know if the Chargers are going to get to 20 points this game. So I'll take the under, assuming that the Chiefs are going to score 30 plus.
All right, well, that was the Sunday preview. That wraps it up for the episode, Sam. I know last time I called you Sam James by accident, but you are Sam Smith. You're the stat man. Brought some good stats today. Um, any closing remarks for today as we get into week 11?
Yeah, I just want all of the listeners to send their thoughts and prayers to Joey in this time. We all miss hearing his voice. We want him back.
Let's take a moment of silence real quick for him. This podcast does have a Twitter. It's Eastside FF, capital E, capital S, with a capital FF. We post these podcasts to YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Yeah, listen to it, share it with a friend if you want to. I don't really care. Week 11, I got a big matchup against the best team. I don't expect to win, but it would really help in me trying to get away from losing the league. You've got a big matchup to try to solidify your playoff push. So a lot of stuff to look forward to this week, huh?
Yeah, it's we actually have a decent slate of football. It seems like it feels like it's going to be a good Sunday.
All right, well, for Nick Testoni and Sam Smith, the stat man, can we hear it one more time?
Yeah, sure. Do, the stat man.
This was the Sci Fantasy Football Podcast. We'll see you next week.